This is the Intentional Faith video blog, and today is Monday, April 20th, 2020. That's a lot of 20s, ain't it, folks? It's your old buddy Shep coming to you again from the recording studio here in the man cave, and gotta tell you, today's blog is all about this question. Where is God when I need Him the most? Now, I gotta be honest with you, I had not intended on going in this direction with today's Monday morning moment in this video blog. But I got the business section of this morning's paper and I started reading it, and it really kind of blew me away. Here are a couple of the headlines. You ready? Bleak predictions for economy stacking up. Bleak. Here's another one that's appropriate for you millennials, which worries me even more. Under a cloud, back-to-back crises hitting millennials especially hard. Now, I don't think I have to tell you that if you read those articles, there was not much good to be said. And it just got me to thinking that, sometimes you just got to wonder, where the heck is God? All right, so that's our topic for today. What's interesting, though, is I wrote a blog post almost 3 years ago that addressed the very same question, but for different reasons, although similar. So let's get rolling with this. And the foundation for today's video blog actually comes from a blog post I wrote on September 18th, 2017. Now that date is important, as you'll see in a second, September 18th. And I'm resurrecting it here because the message then, as it is now, is of universal and timeless importance. The inspiration back then was a series of devastating hurricanes. Yeah, now you understand the importance of the date. And now, well, it's the impacts of COVID-19. Regardless of the challenges we face in this life, there is only one thing that's absolutely certain, and we're going to dive right into that. So here's the story from September of 2017. There are times when I am reminded that in this life, nothing lasts forever. If you live anywhere in the southeast United States or the Caribbean, this time of year is the height of the hurricane season. From the beginning of the season in June through the end of the season in November, we in the southeast keep a casual eye on the west coast of Africa for low-pressure systems that have the potential to turn into major hurricanes. Already this year, we've seen two hurricanes, Harvey and Irma. Do you remember those? And we've seen them leave a path of destruction and devastation in their wakes. Fortunately, thanks to ever-improving ability to predict storm paths and the proactive work by state officials, loss of life from these storms has been minimal. But material loss has been catastrophic. Many, from southeast Texas to Florida and out to the Leeward Islands in the Caribbean, have lost literally everything. Homes, cars, clothes, except what was on their backs. We're talking everything. So, where is God? How many times in your life have you faced a situation and wondered, how can God let this happen? Or how about this? Where is God now that I need Him the most? I imagine a great number of folks who are suffering as a result of these storms and now COVID-19 are wondering those same things right now. I know I've asked the same question a number of times in my life. More times than not, I didn't get an answer, at least not right away. If we're honest, if you think about it, we know that the answer to the first question, how can God let this happen, is really beyond our human capability to understand. It's way above our pay grade. If we could answer it, that would make us, of course, God, which we are not. But God reveals through the prophet Isaiah this in Isaiah 55, verse 8. My thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. That's just a real nice way of God saying, you know what? You guys aren't smart enough. I'm smarter than you. Okay. But really, it's the second question. Where is God now that I need Him the most? That question intrigues me. And the reason it intrigues me so much is because actually the answer is revealed many times in Scripture. And yet we often seem to forget it especially when a disaster of some nature hits our lives? There are many references to this question throughout the Bible, but my favorite of all time comes from Matthew 28, verse 20. As Jesus prepares to ascend to the Father, he addresses his disciples for the last time. His final words to them and to all of us, "And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age." Okay, not just sometimes, not just whenever he feels like it, always. And not just for a day or two, or a month or a year, but to the very end of the age, which means forever. You know, that assurance gives me such great comfort. And I cling to it. I cling to it during times of great loss and uncertainty like we're facing right now. When all else is gone, we know the Lord never leaves us. Cling to that. So what about the things that really matter? Well, if you followed the news surrounding Hurricanes Harvey and Irma, you might have noticed. Didn't it seem like everyone in the media, the media, was saying, our thoughts and prayers go out to those impacted? Yeah, the media did that. Also, how many random acts of kindness from total strangers did you witness during and after those storms? And did you notice when they interviewed folks that had literally lost every material possession they owned, those folks expressed gratitude. That's right, gratitude that they were still alive. On the surface, none of that seemed to make sense to those of us that had not been directly impacted. But now, today, we are all impacted at some level by this virus. And yet even so, we are seeing the very best come out in people yet again, aren't we? Many are going above and beyond to help others, like all the medical people. People are stepping up when it would be just as easy and safe to stay at home. Clearly, if the Lord were not with us right now, we wouldn't be seeing such love and compassion. You know, I'm reminded that in a previous post years ago, I mentioned the advice I was given by a Catholic priest who reminded me that the only commandments of all the commandments, the only commandments that really matter, there's two of them. The first, to love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your strength and all your mind. And the second one is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. You know, if you look around these days, you'll see many people living out those commandments. Hopefully you're one of them. So what does this all mean? Sometimes it seems like it's only when we lose the things we believe have value in this life that we come face to face with the truth. In this life, nothing lasts forever. And the only thing of true value is the love of God poured out for us through His Son, Jesus Christ. And that love will last for all eternity through any storm or pandemic. So, my final thought here, don't wait for the storms or pandemics of this life to hit before you embrace what really matters. Friends and neighbors, until next time, may the Lord of peace Himself give you peace at all times and in every way. The Lord be with all of you. I want you guys to stay strong, keep the faith, keep doing good. This too shall pass. Thanks for joining me. See you next week.